Well, and even the people that get caught up in what everybody else is doing, your fan base some of them may get caught up in what you do, but what you do
Right.
is be real. And again,
Yeah,
be
and
that good father figure so they can say, man, you know,
yeah, I
I
get
need to
that
be a better
sometimes
father.
too.
I need to be a better this, I need to be a
Yeah,
better role model for the people in my life because, everything's not about the showmanship
yeah, the
crap
glitter.
out here. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. I get that though. I get like sometimes people reach out and like that's another thing like I've learned even when it comes to like the direct messaging and that kind of stuff. Like I've learned that I used to I'd read it and I'd respond just because I appreciate the fact that people appreciate my music or that you're affected by it. And more times than none, that backfires because what happens then? Um, they don't stop messaging me then, and it gets more and more personal. Even I can't be personal with you unless I actually know you. So it kind of clicks then that I have to understand that this person feels like they know me, and me removing the barrier, even as small as just accepting this message, and I reply to the message. Now you can reply to it again, and we can have a conversation. And in my head, trying to, I was trying to show people that I'm human too, and I do appreciate it. And what happens is that moment passes for them, and it becomes I'm speaking to a celebrity. I'm speaking to this person that I'm a fan of, and it goes south immediately. Or what happens? I end up with people that want to pursue music. And one thing I would never do is give advice when it comes to music. I can tell you what I've been through. I can tell you, my standpoint or my take on certain things, but I can't tell you how to do it because it's 1,000 ways to do this. There's even more ways. Every day there's another 1,000 ways to do this, and I can tell you what worked for me because of me. But because it worked for me doesn't mean it'll work for you. We're all different people. We got different backgrounds. We got different situations. I drive a suburban, but I got 7 kids. You may not have 7 kids. Driving a suburban might be, a bad investment for you, or economically, that should take about $130 to fill up. You riding by yourself, that don't sound like they don't sound logical, but it worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
So me giving you that advice, hey, go buy a suburban, and it's just you and your wife, and now you got this big ass gas guzzler when you could have went and got a coupe.
Trip told me to get a suburban.
Yeah.
What
Right,
the hell?
exactly. Now when that
Is
don't
Trip
work
gonna
out
pay
for
my
you,
gas bill?
it was my fault. It was the advice that I
Yeah.
gave you. So instead, I would rather tell you, I can tell you what worked for me and how I feel like it, it makes sense for me. I can't tell you how to go about, this for you. And what happens, when I accept a message that, people will go from, hey, I like your music to, hey, what can I do to get in the music business? Or, hey, I want to sign with you. Or, hey, what do you think about this person and that person and this person? And, I initially accepted the message because I wanted you to understand that I appreciate your appreciation for me. And, that kind of get lost in the shuffle. So even then, I have to just, I have to read what you had to say, and even if I feel like I appreciate it, I can't tell you that I appreciate it for fear that you may turn this into something that it's not. And especially now that I'm married, it's a lot easier to get. It's a lot easier to cause disruption in my relationship because women you know, women enjoy my music as well, so I can't really respond if this makes for for her comfort. You don't want to your significant other sitting and all they doing is communicating with random you wouldn't want them communicating with random men. I wouldn't want my wife sitting here and she's having long conversations with some other man.
Yeah.
You know, that would make me uncomfortable,
Sure,
whether that was
yeah.
her fan or not.
Your
Yeah.
wife and I talked about that the other day when we were texting. We talked about how
But, you know, but you get what I'm saying,
Right.
So I had to look at it like that. You know, like, you know, I can't. I get it, and I don't know if you know if celebrities do that or not. If they, you know, like communicate with the audience, like, you know, in a personal forum or not. But I found that don't work for me. But, you know, when I do read some of the you know, some of the messages, you know, I get to, you know, I read one, I want to say yesterday. You know, it was like, man, you taught me how to be a better father, and they was like, man, crazy thing is I'm 40, and I was, you know, that touched me. Again, I can't. You know, I can't accept the message and tell you that touched me, because, you know, then it goes into other shit. But that, you know, that kind of reassures me that, you know, that I'm on the right path when it comes to you know, to the content that I do provide.
Somebody start boxing wet.